Hello there, this is Leslie, and I've made a huge mistake. Before I get into all of that, however, let's get a few things out of the way. First off, this will be the last episode of 2018. Rebekah had a craft show to do. She sells books. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but here we are. She sells books. And so she was busy with that, so I decided to hop on here real quick. Didn't want to leave 2018 without a proper goodbye. And there'll also be a message towards the end of the month on the Facebook page letting you guys know how much we appreciate you. But I'm back. I'm here by myself with slightly low blood sugar and some bread to hopefully pick it up. So here we go. You may be asking yourself, what's the huge mistake that I could have possibly made? Well, I mentioned last week and also on the Facebook page that Amazon sent me an email offering me Kindle Unlimited for about 99 cents for 3 months. So I picked up that deal. I also picked up a 3 months for 99 cents Spotify deal, but I didn't make a mistake on that at all whatsoever. Good times. I haven't made any playlists on Spotify, but I'm more than happy to share the playlist that I do listen to on there if you're interested. But back to the mistake I made. So I get advertisements on Facebook for books. They'll be by lesser known authors, and they'll have like maybe a snippet of a chapter of the book. And I've been interested in a couple of these, but I wasn't going to buy them because I usually get my books from the library. That's just who I am. And these books are from independent authors, so they wouldn't be at the library half the time. Sometimes they would be. Sometimes I get lucky. Well, 90% of them are on Kindle Unlimited. So I have been feverishly downloading and reading all of these books to the point where I am now caught back up on my Goodreads and the list of books that I talked to you guys about last week. I really haven't gotten to them. However, I have an extra long trip for my 9 to 5 this week, and I'm not driving, somebody else is. So I'll sit in the back in the corner scowling and reading my books. So far, I have read, I'm looking at it now, it's called Fairy Tales of a Trailer Park, what is this, Trailer Trash, something like that. Anyway, I read the first book and it was interesting enough. And so I went ahead and I grabbed the second one, and the second one's not really holding me as much as the first one did. And to be honest with you, there were a lot of holes in the first book and in the second one. For example, the main character in this is kind of in seclusion in like this middle of nowhereville in a trailer park. And you come to find out that she's a supernatural being, and she's in seclusion and she's in hiding. But this whole town has, supernatural people sprinkled throughout it. Now, in between the end of the first book and the beginning of the second book, they make it seem like there's nothing but supernatural people in here, when that wasn't the case to begin with when this book started. They were all different and scattered out. And still, her neighbor isn't supernatural, but there's so many supernatural things going on in the town that people who are not supernatural would be definitely hard pressed to not notice it. So I don't know what's going on. The continuity is kind of getting to me, but I've never been one to not finish a book. It's got to be really bad for me not to finish. So we'll see how it goes. I also read another book about dragons and Shin, and as I've discussed with Rebekah numerous times, I typically skip the sexy portions of books, of novels and fan fiction, but when I picked up this one was about 95% smut. So I read it all. It wasn't too bad. It was a lot of references to her throbbing core. and the dragon making her core all heaty, throbbing. Meh. But I finished that book, and it's a series. And now there's a second one because she is Shin, which I don't really know how to explain that. So you're going to have to look it up yourself. And I'll put the book name in the description and the author and everything in the information box when I upload this, so that you have it if you want to kind of look at that. But they have supernatural powers. Are you noticing a theme here? I like a lot of supernatural things, but she's basically the last of her lineage. Everybody else has died and has been killed by this thing that wants knowledge, so it dissects its victims. It's a lot. I'm going to tell you it's a lot. And then you find out that she doesn't really have magic. Or does she? So if that's something you're interested in, then like I said, I'll leave that in the show notes so that you can check it out. Changing the subject completely, I wanted to make mention the place where we did the D&D and POC Good Games here in Indianapolis. They are having a gift exchange on December 16th. It starts at 6 p.m. and I'm just going to read you the details. Come one, come all to the Good Games gift exchange. Bring a $10 gift, get a $10 gift. Everyone 15 and under gets a free gift. Free cookies and street parking. While you're here, you can get some last minute shopping done. So I think me and a friend are going to go to that. I'm going to hit up Two Squares podcast to see if they want to go, and we can make a little merry event out of it. I think it would be fun. If you are in the Indianapolis, Fishers, Noblesville, Carmel, Kokomo, any of those in the Indiana area, and you want to show up and show out, let us know so I can say hi, and maybe you can get a podcast sticker or a button from me. That would be appreciated because I have lots of stickers and buttons to give away. Quinzel has recently been writing up a storm on the blog. By the time that this airs, there should be a post out, a review of Geeky Sex Toys. That's literally the name of the company, and that's literally the thing that they gave her. So make sure you hop over to the Geeky Girls Guide to Life blog and check that out. There will be a link also to that in the show notes. I also wanted to mention that, it's cold here in Indiana. I am freezing. But with wintertime, that means that I also reread a bunch of books. And one of the books that I'm rereading is Farmer Boy by Laura Ingalls Wilder. It was the book that kind of got me interested in the Little House on the Prairie series because it's basically food porn. And I've talked about this before, and I wanted to read you another passage from it to talk, of the food porn. So here we go. They talked about spare ribs and turkey with dressing and baked beans and crackling cornbread and other good things. But Almanzo said what he liked most in the world was fried apples and onions. When at last they went to dinner, there on the table was a big dish of them. Mother knew what he liked best, and she had cooked it for him. Side note, the whole mother knows what he likes best makes me think of Mike Pence and creeps me out. But that's neither here nor there. Almanzo ate 4 large helpings of apples and onions fried together. He ate roast beef and brown gravy, and mashed potatoes and creamed carrots and boiled turnips, and countless slices of buttered bread with crab apple jelly. It takes a great deal to feed a growing boy, Mother said. Ugh. And she put a thick slice of bird's nest pudding on his bare plate and handed him the pitcher of sweetened cream sprinkled with nutmeg. Almanzo poured the heavy cream over the apples nested in the fluffy crust. The syrupy brown juice curled around the edges of the cream. Almanzo took up his spoon and ate every bit. So, yeah, the entire book is like that. Unfortunately, the rest of the Little House on the Prairie series wasn't like that. As a matter of fact, Laura Ingalls Wilder and her family starved at one point. only to be rescued by a Thanksgiving turkey in the middle of June. You have to read the book to understand that. It was frozen. It sounded gross to me, but I guess they hadn't eaten all that well since, the spring before, so I guess you'll eat anything and risk salmonella. Good times, right? And I realize that I'm bouncing all over the place, and I apologize. The last time I did the episode by myself, I had a nice and neat typed out outline of everything I was going to do, but I'm sleepy and I did not have time to do that this time, so I'm just going over the subjects as I remember them. So a new year's coming up, and with a new year for me personally means a new planner. I use my phone calendar to plan things, but I also have a paper planner because I'm one of those people that if I write it out, chances are I'm going to remember it. There is a heavy duty planner community that I belong to. It's called Black Women Who Plan and Create. I'm more of a planner, not a creator, though I do scrapbook and sew and things like that when I do have time, which is never because I have a toddler. But I got my new planner. I'm using another Happy Planner. I used a Happy Planner this year. This year I used the Happy Planner Mini, and while it worked out well for me, it wasn't enough space for me to write everything down that I needed to, and I have kind of big handwriting. So I went up to the next level. It's not a Happy Planner Big, which is like a rather large planner that I couldn't carry in my purse. This one is like a medium size, and I can carry it in my purse, but it's still fairly large, which was what I was trying to avoid with the Mini. But like I said, I think that this one will work better for me. In that vein, I've seen people start to create vision boards for 2018, and I'm just curious, do you do a vision board? I see it as kind of like resolutions that you can look at all year round and kind of make sure that you're following up on them, and maybe even journal about them. I know a lot of people in the planner community journal, so I'm thinking of maybe doing that. And I was wondering if you guys were interested, if maybe we could do a vision board together. I would go on Facebook Live or whatever, Instagram Live or something like that, and we can all, get together and do vision boards. If that's something you're interested in, please let me know, because I don't want to be in the live group all by myself alone. It makes me sad. Yeah. Also, speaking of Facebook Live, I saw, it was either today or yesterday, Facebook bought the rights to stream Buffy, Angel, and Firefly. So I was thinking we could do a couple of live watches together. Rebekah would probably handle Buffy and Angel, since those are her jam. I have not I've seen a couple episodes of Buffy. I'm not even going to front on that. And I may have seen one or two episodes of Angel, but I was thinking of maybe starting with Firefly. So if that's also something you guys are interested in, I would love to hear about it. I know that quite a few of my friends are super excited about it and can't wait and have already started binging it. But yeah, I would like to share that with you guys because it's new to me and it's not something that I watch regularly. I think that is everything. Let's talk about how you can find us. You can find us on Instagram at Geeky Girl Guide. And please, please, please follow us on Instagram. I have so many things that I want to share with you by having you swipe up, but you need X amount of people to be able to get the option on Insta stories, and I would like to reach that. Which reminds me, one more thing before I go into the rest of our spiel. The Blackalachian, he has been back from his Underground Railroad trip for a few weeks now. And I just keep forgetting to mention it because I didn't write it down in my notes. but he has started to upload his trip to YouTube. I will put that in the show notes. I think he's creating a playlist, so I will put that playlist in the show notes so you can kind of follow along. I followed along on Instagram during most of his trip, but I'm interested to see what extra that he did film. He's also announced his newest venture here in the next couple months that he's going to do, and I will go ahead and I will link to that Instagram announcement so that you can see, and maybe you want to follow along with that one too. That one's really exciting, and he's going continental, so I hope that you guys will check that out. Anyway, back to our spiel. Instagram, you can find us at Geeky Girl Guide, all one word. Twitter, you can find us at Geeky Girls and I, all one word. We are Geeky Girls Night In on Facebook, and you can find any articles that we may write, any articles that Quinzel writes on geekygirlsguide.com. So all of this is always in the show notes. If you ever want to join me in a game, I am on Hearthstone and Fortnite under Andewyn, Andewyn. I played some games of Hearthstone Saturday and lost every single one of them. And then I got mad that I lost every single one of them and closed out the game. So I need some more practice. And I promise I'm not a sore loser. I always tell them good game and thank you and things like that. I just kind of frown like to myself. I believe that is everything. Like I said, you won't hear from us for the rest of the year unless one of us gets a bug up our butt to do another bonus episode. So I wish you the happiest of New Year's. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate it. Oh, also, we are both parents, and we are funding all of this out of pocket. So if you would like to toss us a few coins, our way, you can go to patreon.com, Geeky Girls Night In, and there are different levels you can subscribe to, and we would surely thank you. I believe that's everything. Oh, also, this is probably the most important thing that has ever happened to me, other than the birth of my child and maybe marriage. Lance Bass liked one of my tweets. So if you don't know, now you know. I'm a big NSYNC stan, and I tweeted about the Christmas song. I forget the name of it. I never know the name of it, but it's the only song in NSYNC's discography that Lance Bass has a solo on, and I made mention that it's my favorite because of that reason, and then I made my coworker shut the hell up when it played so that they could hear it too. And he liked the tweet, and I started freaking out and crying and just was a complete mess. But that was also because I had low blood sugar, and it was like half excitement, half low blood sugar, and those things just don't go together well. Like, you become an incoherent mess. It wasn't like Shelby drink your juice low blood sugar, but it was fairly low. So super exciting to hear it there. And if you don't get the Shelby drink your juice reference, we don't go together. I'm sorry. Until next time, Happy New Year. Feel free to reach out to any of us, and talk to you soon. Bye.